back. Today we're going to be covering a technique. It's called hook and wings. It's our Kenpo curriculum on the purple card. And I just want to say thank you. We picked up a few new followers. This is a brand new channel, so I want to say thank you to my followers up there. Thank you for the support. If you guys are watching this video, you can hit that like button. I really appreciate it. So let's get right into it. Now, you know, I'm trying to teach these techniques on the Kenpo curriculum. If you guys have any techniques that you want me to go over, send me a message in the comments and let me know, and I'll be more than glad to put something out there for you guys. This particular technique, hook and wings, happens to be one of my favorites. I really like this technique because of the timing that is involved, everything that is involved in this technique. The way you trace, I'm going to go over that in the technique as well. But one of the issues that I have with this technique is that we're going to be covering the figure 8, and I'll explain what I mean about that in a second here. And I want to have you guys give me a feedback. Let me know how you work this technique. My Kenpo guys out there, let me know how you work this technique out. Let me know how you work that figure 8, and let me know how you like this interpretation that I'm going to give you on the figure 8. That being said, come down, Sebastian. So the attack in this technique is for a low of 10. Now my keyboard warriors up there, we're going to go slow here. We're going to be showing this in a slow motion right now just for the purpose of the lesson. So I know my keyboard warriors are like, that's not how you do a takedown, that's not how you attack somebody. I understand all that. But this is just intent to be instructional video, just give you guys an idea. So we're going to go slow at first, and then later we can speed it up for you keyboard warriors up there, all right? So let's get going real quick. All right, so come this angle here real quick so we can hopefully catch that on the camera. So what Sebastian is going to be doing here is going to be trying to go for a takedown. He's just going for a topple takedown, head on. So go ahead. So he's just coming in and he's going for that takedown. That's pretty much what he's doing there. He's just approaching the takedown. Now here, what I'm going to do is that I got to create a cast stance. The cast stance is intended to create a little bit of distance between me and my opponent. Now, when I do this cast stance, I don't want to step back too far and then out too back. That's the way I seen it being taught out there. I like to kind of just adjust. If you guys can see my feet down here, my left leg, it just steps back and I right away drop into that cast stance. So it's a little quick shuffle step here and right into my cast stance. Notice that my right leg doesn't move. I keep my right leg there. I just step back with my left leg and I drop into my cast stance. About 10% weight on my front leg to be able to release that kick as quick as I can. Now, hook and wings, so with my hands, what I'm doing here, the way it's taught is that as you step back, you hook inside the arms, push down on the arms, hook down on the arm, and back. Make sure you guys don't hook up, because what we do is that we send his hands back in orbit and he can go into the clinch. For instance, if I try to hook Sebastian and I do it this way, his hands automatically come up and now we can go into the clinch. So we want to make sure that we keep his height control. So one of the things that I like to implement in here is from your start blocks, guys, your push down block from your start blocks, or from long from one, when you isolate the motion at the end of the form and you do the push down blocks. So those push down blocks, basically they're strikes, okay? And they're meant to also control my opponent's height. So that's what I like to implement when I do hook and wings, the push down blocks. I try to hit my opponent's arm right on top, push him down to the ground. I don't want to hook too much, because the problem with the hook is that I'm sending him to me. He's already close enough. I don't need to bring my opponent any closer. So I want to make sure I control his height right away, pushing down as hard as I can in those arms. If I were to hook Sebastian, what happens is that I'm bringing him to me. He's already got forward motion anyways. So as he's coming in, and I hook here, go ahead and keep coming in, Sebastian. But there, I'm just hooking him to me, right? So I'm not helping myself at all here. Watch the hook again, how he comes into me. If I hook him, I'm just bringing him to me. And I'm kind of crowded right here. And I can't really do my technique properly. So I want to make sure that when you guys do this, you're going to go very slow. As he comes in and I step back, I'm putting with my push down blocks pressure on those arms to control his height a little bit. Notice that here I do have a little bit of room so I can kick him. The first kick is start to go to the groin. Now, a lot of the guys up there are going to say, you can finish a fight with a kick to the groin and an eye poke. All right. Good for you if that works for you every single time. But keep in mind that even though I do catch him on the groin, the problem is that he's trying to go for that takedown. Even though I do put pressure on and I control his height momentarily, these techniques are not 100% guaranteed. You guys know that. So the problem with that if I were to kick Sebastian in the groin, I'm underneath his groin and his body can still move forward into me. So this technique, I don't like to kick to the groin for that reason. So just to show you here real quick what I'm talking about, so you're going to keep that forward momentum. As I'm here and I kick him in the groin, notice that my leg is underneath him. Even though I do kick him in the groin, now he's falling on me, and now that defeats the purpose. So my whole objective here is to control not just his height, but his depth as well. And to control his depth, that front kick should be going to his bladder, right here, right in the bladder, right in front of the groin, or on his stomach. That way I can control his depth. Doesn't do me any good by going underneath it, because now the height is controlled, but the depth is not controlled. The depth is coming towards me. So I'm not really, helping myself at all by doing that. So as he comes in, I control here, and now the front kick goes right into the bladder. So I can control his height even more and his depth at the same time. Again, if you go right into the groin, notice I'm underneath him. Yeah, it's a great kick, but he's still, not really controlling his depth at all. Hopefully that's making sense right now. All right, now, again, putting pressure on him. He comes in, I step back, put the pressure right there, go right into the bladder. Notice that my leg comes right back. The reason my leg comes back is if I land here and I'm landing with a hammer to his face, the hammer strike to his face, I need to see where I'm landing. I need to create myself a little bit of time here so I can position my weapons properly, okay? The way the technique is taught again is for that figure eight. So I'm facing the camera real quick. As I go here and I put that kick right into the bladder, as I land, here's the figure eight, where you hammer to the face and then you do that figure eight and you hammer the other side of the face. Now, yes, there is power on the first hammer. Definitely there is. Because now you're using inertial gravity. That's why my leg is here, so I can see where I land. So I can land with inertial gravity this way. But now it's really hard to create the figure eight and really hit my opponent hard with it. All you're gonna do is you're gonna piss off the guy, because this is not a real power shot. When you guys touch, when you guys make contact with your opponent, every single touch has to hurt. Every single time you make contact, it has to hurt. Okay, there's no need to give a good powerful strike and then a massage afterwards. That makes no sense. Everything has to have an intent behind it, and a really bad intention behind every strike. So make sure that this figure eight is it's really not gonna work for anybody. I've never been able to make it work myself. Sorry, you guys, Kenpo experts up there, if you can make the figure eight really work without jacking up your shoulder, good luck. So here's how I like to do it, facing the camera real quick. So, when I step back here and I put that pressure into their height, I kick to the bladder, I bring my leg back. Reason I bring my leg back because I'm getting ready to see exactly where I'm going to hit, and I'm loading myself out from point of origin so I can land with my inertial gravity. So when I strike, boom, and I hit, now my right hand needs to come back to my body. Now, I'm gonna use a bouncing effect. I'm gonna bounce off of my body, right into my opponent's face. So I'm going with a hammer strike into a back knuckle. My figure eight is still here. When I hit this way, here's my figure eight bouncing off of me, going to my opponent. So I'm not canceling the figure eight motion. I'm just trying to apply power with it by bouncing off of my body, generating that power off of my body. You see the comments up there that people say, well, Kenpo guys, they're always hitting themselves. That's because either people don't understand what they're really doing, or they don't explain it well. So if my opponent's face is there and I can bounce off my opponent's body, I can do that. But if not, I have to use my body to generate the power and bounce off my energy into my opponent. This is the reason why we make that contact on each other sometimes. When the body's not there, we use our body at the same time. Now, in this technique, we go here, we kick, I come back, I land, boom, and now a little bit of a shuffle in. As I strike, I'm gonna shuffle in. Notice that my left hand is in motion, and we'll explain that in a second, and I'm bouncing off, and I'm hitting here to actually line up my strikes at the same time, lining up my strike to my opponent. I don't want to overextend my shot. By keeping myself here, I keep myself lined up. Hopefully that's making sense. So a way to do this exercise by yourselves right now is stepping back, putting pressure down into your opponent's arms, kick to the bladder, come back, load, drop, bring it all the way. As you hit the face, you bring it all the way. You're gonna bounce off of your ribs, you're gonna shuffle in, boom, into your opponent's face, keeping this hand here for a check, and also to help keep your weapons aligned so you don't overextend too much, okay? Let's see what that looks like on the body. We're gonna do it from different angles for you guys. We're gonna go slow here first so we can see it, okay? As Sebastian comes in, I put the pressure here, I kick to the bladder, I come back, I land right into his face. Now from here, I continue that motion, I bounce off of my body, your head so you don't get hurt, and I hit right there to the side of the face. Let's do it from this angle. Let's come, yeah, that angle's good right there so you can hopefully see that. So as you come in, I'm here, kick, come back, land, reach back all the way, just go through that punch, all the way to myself here, bounce in, boom, right to the side of the face, keeping the control there. Now, hopefully that makes sense. Versus, he comes in, I'm here, kick, and do that figure eight. Now, this, yeah, that's right, but this, the power there, it's kind of, I mean, it's still gonna hurt, you're still gonna make a contact, but again, it's not a knockout strike, it's not a powerful strike. When you can bounce off of your body and release that energy right off of your body, there's a lot more power that you can generate, okay? Now, back over here, so let's talk about the left hand. The left hand is in motion. Now, this is what we call our checking hand. Kenpo, we have our checking hands. We always have when one hand is working, the other one is checking or is protecting most of the time, right? So, my checks should always be active. They should always be doing something. The job of the checks, 3 things personally that I find that the checks can do. One of them, wherever you have a check, obviously there's a check to protect yourself. One of the main jobs that the check is going to do, pretty self-explanatory. Number 2, you may have a possible insert. An insert. An insert could be an eye gouge, it could be a slap, it could be an ear slap, anything, any insert, anything that you can do with a checking hand. And number 3, usually when there is an insert, there's a possibility that you can find a break. Also like an arm break or something like that. So you want to make sure that your checks are always active. They have a brain of their own. They're always moving. They're always thinking. They're always performing, okay? So on this particular scenario, the way I get my left hand involved here is that after he comes in and I push down, now as I come here and I kick to his bladder or his stomach, as I'm coming down and I'm striking his face, as I hit the face, I'm going to go with the open hand here so I don't hurt Sebastian. So as I hit, my left hand is going to catch his face on this side. So I just think about it for a second. As I hit, when I land and I hammer him here, this left hand is catching the face. Let's go this angle so you can see it. So as I land, I'm catching the face on this side. Now I'm going to use what we call tracing. Now every time I can trace Sebastian's body, I can get to a point of stop. I can get to his neck, I can trace underneath, I can go to the floating rib, I can trace inside his leg and then go to the groin. You know, I can trace the front of his chest, I can stop in the throat. You know, I can use tracing to generate velocity and at the same time not miss my target because I'm going to get to a point of stop, okay? Also, it is important that if I don't have his body to trace, I can have my own body, my own arm, so I can trace the next target. So that, the checking hand is going to help me trace to his face by generating more power by using that friction when I'm tracing and hitting my target. Here's what I mean by that, slow so you guys can see it. So as he comes in and I control him here, I go to that kick. As I land, I hit and I catch. Now notice my hand is underneath and it's perfectly aligned to his jawline. So as I'm here, I trace. So as I hit, I catch, boom, and I trace, and that trace goes right into his face. If I have my hand here, all I have to do is trace it without even looking. Now here comes the next trace of this technique. On the technique, it says that we're supposed to do the figure 8, and then bring the hand all the way down and create that circle and loop to an elbow strike, land, and then rip and claw all the way, right? Well, what if you keep using that checking hand? This is where I like to keep using. I try to make this technique a little more flowy for you guys, those Kenpo guys out there. Get it to flow a little more and get it to generate a little more power by using your right and your left hands all the time. So here's what I mean again. come down, control here. Here comes that kick, come back so I can see where I'm landing, right? Deliver the strike, catch the face, hit here. I trace my own hand now through the hit side here, so when I trace here, I end up on his jaw. So I can either trace my own hand to down on his jaw, or I can go underneath and trace from underneath so I can lift up his jaw, so I can have now an elbow-fitted weapon to trace and pop right into the jawline. What goes up must come down, right into that bone right here, right in between his collarbone. I'm gonna drop right there to create a lot of power. Notice that his back is leaning back. It perfect sets up my claw hand so I can go down and I can rip all the way down on his body. So that is my left hand working for me. Now we're gonna still work a little more on this to now keep generating more power. I'm just giving you guys now the motion very slowly so you can understand. Hopefully you're getting all that. Hopefully I'm still on camera here so you guys can see me. We'll check the video afterwards. We need to do it again, we'll do it again. All right, so as he comes in, I control him here. Here comes my kick, bring it back, land, catch, trace, lift, elbow tracing. That's hitting him right in the chest. Boom, that's a nasty hit right into the chest right there. Trace all the way out, drop, rip the face. Here comes my chicken hand again, chicken, just in case. I can even get a groin shot if I wanted to right there. Pop right into the groin. So we can still use our left chicken hand to keep generating more strikes and tracing more into our opponent. That's when tracing takes place here. A lot of times we do our Kenpo techniques and we forget about these principles. How do we control the height, the width, the depth? How do we trace? How do we generate power that way? How do we, by tracing, you're now aligning up your weapons, body alignment. Weapons are aligned now to the targets. Tracing is helping you do all that. So now you're able to develop this a little better, able to understand these concepts a little better, hopefully with this technique. And you can apply this with all the techniques in your curriculum. You can apply this concept. Just try to find where it's at and play with it, okay? Here before I coach Sebastian, right there for a second. So now, when you're hitting somebody in the face, they're not gonna stand right there. Most likely when somebody's getting hit that way, elbow, slap, punch, whatever, especially when they're coming forward like this, as they're getting hit, they're gonna be moving back away from you, away from the punishment that momentarily you're creating. There is no way they're gonna stand there and just take it. If the guy's taking all your strikes there, go work on your strike. You're not causing enough pain. You're not really generating enough power. So if you're striking somebody the way you should be, they're not gonna be standing right there. They're gonna be retreating. They're gonna be moving back away from your punches. So that's when you need to be tracing your way into your opponent, shuffling into your opponent, generating this power and this pain. Now, we want to use a little bit of our measure of gravity to keep generating power. So one of the things I like to do, I like to drop my weight a little bit as I'm coming into my opponent, okay? So I try to do this facing the camera a little bit. So as I'm here and I control here, notice that as I step back, there is that shift of weight. I'm shifting my weight. My back heel is landing and I have this rocking motion at the same time that my body's rocking back and forward, boom, to generate that power into the push down that I'm doing on his forearms. Now, I'm here, boom, I got a rocking motion. As I come up, I kick. As I land, boom, I'm landing. And as I land with my measure of gravity, now I'm gonna bounce off of my body. I'm gonna shuffle in, but I'm gonna actually distribute my weight and drop my weight at the same time that I shuffle in. So I can settle my strike as well. Your strikes need to be settled. Your body has to be settled. You need to use your body weight when you hit somebody. That's no good to just throw your arm up there. Your body has to come with it. Your body, your legs have to come underneath your punch also. So what I do here is we go back here, we kick, we land, pop. Now from the land, as I come in, as I'm shooting that left hand, I'm gonna settle my weight, and I'm gonna drop my weight with that back knuckle, right there. Just dropping my weight with my back knuckle at the same time. I'm here, I kick, I drop, and I drop again my weight. Don't finish there. After you do that, you drop your weight right there. Remember the guy's going backwards. He's getting hit, okay? So as you do that, you settle here. I shuffle in with a strike. This check should be painful as well. Again, it's not a face massage. So as you're here and I shuffle in, I'm there, There's my strike. Using my measure gravity at the same time, settling with my heel palm. From there, I'm gonna settle with my elbow strike. I use tracing on my arm as well, so I can actually generate more power by tracing my own checking hand to generate more power, more frictional power into my opponent's chin. So as I'm there, I shuffle in one more time. Remember, he's going backwards. I put that elbow there and settle one more time, and I keep settling every time into every strike as I do my technique, okay? Hopefully that's making sense. We're here, go slow, you can go with me. 1, drop, from here, check, drop, drop, up, drop, drop. Settle every time. If you do it like this at the beginning, it's gonna look a little robotic, but you're getting the idea, you're getting the concept that I'm talking about. Once you're able to get that concept, you're able to now combine all these concepts together, generate your power and your speed. Remember, as you shuffle in, you set and you strike at the same time. It's all one motion. It shouldn't be separated. It should all come together, okay? We're here, step back with that control, kick, land, right there, and I'm settling my stance every time with all my strikes. Making good use of your checking hand at the same time. All right, watch it here again with Sebastian. We're gonna go slow for you guys. He comes in, I go 1, from here, the power kick, I drop, right there, I hit. This drop, the minute I hit, make sure you don't stay here smelling the flowers. This has got to bounce really fast off of my body. As I hit, it's bouncing right back. Boom, it's bouncing right there. It's gonna hit, catch, bounce, it's gonna bounce there, boom, it's gonna bounce, and I keep bouncing, boom, and I keep moving on this guy the whole time. Make sure when you guys bounce off your body, don't stop. So it's not this here, stop, check, bounce, hit. You lost the whole concept. You lost your energy flow from your opponent back to you, okay? I use the word energy so you guys understand what I'm talking about. I don't believe in none of that mystical stuff. I believe in actually how to use my body weight and receive that strike from my opponent from his own strike, from his own body weight. How can I borrow that to me so I can bounce it right off? No mystical crap. Just useful motion is basically what we're trying to do here. So as I'm here and I control, I kick, I hit, I bounce, boom, the bounce is immediate. Immediate, it's like a trigger, boom, it just shoots right away. You're here, control, kick, land, boom, 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 and you're just moving on the body non-stop forward, not wasting your motion, and using that bounce and that tracing the whole time. Slow so you can see the tracing now. Here it is. You're checking. I kick. I come over the top. I hit. I put the check here. I'm tracing underneath my own arm. Right into my rib here. I trace right underneath there. I catch. I can even catch the face one more time. I trace my own arm so I can go right into the shin, generating a lot of power. I can trace on the bottom again. Keeping that control. Keeping my check just in case. Hopefully this is making sense. I know I'm talking a lot of information here. I'm giving you a lot of information as quick as I can, but you can always stop this video, rewind it, and go through it slowly. I'm just trying to fit in as much information as I can on this video right now, okay? So, when the guy comes in, you don't want to settle here and wait too long either, right? Because he's going to be mobile. So what I do here when he comes in and I settle, I don't want to be here controlling this and seeing what the hell's going on. You have to have a quick reaction. The same way we had that quick reaction with the tracing and the bouncing, the same reaction is going to be within your cat stance. So when I step back, notice this bounce here, back here. I'm going to go sideways in the camera, so hopefully you can see my feet right there. So when I step back here, there's that bounce. That bounce is the one that is going to load. So as I'm pop, I'm loading. So when I hit here, I settle my weight down, and then it springs right out. Just think of a spring that goes up and down, up and down, up and down this way. So as I step back and I settle, my body launches up. I'm exaggerating this so you guys can see it in the camera. So my body will launch up a little bit like a spring. I'm spring loading myself. As I step down, this energy here, boom, energy, mystical crap. This energy here, so you guys understand what I'm talking about, bounces me right up. So basically, it's just my body. If I can create measure gravity going down this way, Kenpo is three-dimensional. I can create a inertial gravity from the ground up as well. You can generate the same power either way. We all understand inertial gravity that comes down this way. But just think of yourself like a spring, like a ball that bounces from the floor back up. You just want to bounce, and you want to create that kick at the same time from your opponent. So make sure you control this quick. You don't want to stay there too long, okay? So, as Sebastian comes in, boom, pop, right there, there's the kick. There's a lot of power in that kick. As I come back, boom, pop, boom, right there. You put in those strikes, pop, right there on my opponent. Now, Kenpo hands up there, guys. You guys know about your Kenpo hands, right? Kenpo hands. Notice that my thumb is always out here. So when you strike and I'm tracing, I can put my thumb right into the eye socket. Pop, right there. That thumb can go right into there. So as you hit here, you come in here, you got your checks, you hit, and as I'm hitting, that can go flying, boom, right there at the same time, right there. It's going in and out. So just think about that for a second. That insert is not just necessarily a slap to the ear. It could be both. You can slap to the ear, whoop, and then shuffling a little bit with that thumb actually goes right into the eye socket as well. So be careful if you're doing this with your partner. Be very careful with the control, how you do this, okay? Let's do it from this angle real quick, Sebastian. Right, this angle, we can probably see that from there. So once again, here comes Sebastian. I'm here. I control, pump, plan, pop, 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 right there. Here's your control. Step down here, and from here you're gonna rip all the way. If I put a lot of pressure on here, notice that it actually activates the groin at the same time. It's activating the groin too. So you can get your claw all the way down when you cross out as well. So just play with that idea. Let me know what you guys think. Is there anything else you think we need to cover? Think we got it? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know about your comments. Keyboard warriors up there. I know what you're thinking. How many fights are you getting to? Really? All right, guys. Have a good one. See you soon.